White Sox, White Sox, go, go, White Sox. Let's go, 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 White Sox. We're with you all the way. You're always in there fighting and you do your best. We're glad to have you out here in the Middle West. We're gonna root, White Sox and cheer you on to victory. When we're in the stands, we'll make those rafters ring. All through the season, you will hear us sing. Let's go, 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 White Sox.
This episode is brought to you by Generate Solutions, your go-to AI experts specializing in empowering commercial real estate companies and environmental consulting firms. As AI is quickly transforming industries and enhancing efficiency, it is important you don't let your business fall behind. At Generate Solutions, we streamline workflows and automate tasks by creating custom AI agents tailored specifically to your business needs. Interested in taking your operations to the next level with AI? Email mfiorante@generatesolutions.com or find us directly on LinkedIn by clicking the link in the bio. On to our episode.
Good afternoon. I'm Nic Fardella. I'm joined with John Conenna, and we're going to break down the 2026 Chicago White Sox season.
Yes. Nick, thank you for coming by here today and including me in this, because this is going to be kind of a great look at this 2016, which I feel, Nick, looks like could have a lot of promise here. And of course, the way you've kind of broken this down yourself, I think that this could really be something. We're going to title this today the Southside Shatter, right?
Yeah.
That was a great title by you here today. Question for you that I want to bring up. Let's get started here with the White Sox of 2026 and who they purchased here in the offseason. Maybe you might want to start with some of these things that we've acquired that give us the hope.
Yeah, so they acquired Eric Fedde later on in the offseason. We had him a couple of years ago, traded him away. Now we brought him back for a 1-year, $1.5 million contract.
Wow.
I think it's a solid move because there's a guy we signed early on I'll mention later on, but we needed a fifth day starter. I think he fits the mold perfectly, but he's been on the team before, a veteran guy. I think he's going to help the rotation, help the young guys, really teach them how to play baseball.
And you know what? Thank you for bringing it up that way, because yes, Fedde, when he was here, I was upset, even though it was during that time of this huge rebuild that what they were going through. We look at, and thank you again. We got him for Austin with Austin out of the Austin Hayes thing, right?
No, we signed Austin Hayes too. We just signed there.
Yeah, right. And again, I really like the fact that we're bringing up what the dollar amount is nowadays, so people can understand this a little bit better. Then we picked up, is that a right-handed pitcher?
Sir Anthony Dominguez.
Yeah.
He's a relief pitcher. He throws around close to 100 miles per hour, flamethrower in the bullpen, 2-year, $20 million contract.
Are we looking to see this guy in the ninth when we have the one-run lead or
Will Venable said he wants him to close out games. He's actually pitching for DR in the World Baseball Classic, so you can watch him pitch there too if you want.
We haven't had something like Serenity since, was it Hendricks?
Yeah.
We haven't had something like that in a while.
Last year we kind of platooned relief pitchers in the 9th inning, and you can tell, like, we didn't have that certified dominant guy, and that cost us some games. So this is a really sneaky pickup for us. So we were able to get him. Nice.
And
the next guy I want to bring up is really the center of our offseason. Munetaka Americana, 2-year, $34 million deal. Came from the Japanese league, just an absolute star. Everything that I've read and heard, he actually broke the Japanese home run record with 57 homers in a season. So he's kind of known as the Asian American Judge.
Okay.
Nickname that people are getting him, which really optimistic for. He's also playing for Team Japan in WBC too.
And just watching him, Nick, in the spring training games that I picked up on, yes, this guy can hit the long ball. And again, the versatility of that we might be seeing at first and third base,
Yeah.
But yeah, a pleasant surprise. And as you went around the city talking to people, I think they were really surprised at the White Sox. One
Yeah.
after this, but we do need this type of a hitter. We have not had something like this. Hopefully, this could turn out to be our Jim Thome from a few years back.
I know teams like the Dodgers and Padres were going after him, and it's really surprising that I'm happy and surprised that we got him because he's just going to fill a hole we needed. We needed a power hitting first baseman. He fits the mold perfectly.
Perfect. Then we're looking at this righty pitcher, Sean Newcomb. What do you know about him, Nick?
He was a relief pitcher last year. Had his best season last year, coming out of the bullpen. Years before, he kind of was he was a starting pitcher. He had like around 4 ERA as a starter. Last year was his best season, around two ERA. And I think the signing of Eric Fetty pushes him to the bullpen, which he was better with last year. So that's going to be huge. We needed more bullpen guys coming out of the pen, and I think he's going to fit the mold perfectly.
Do you think Newcomb will be the guy that sets up Serenity?
I do, yes. I think he's been in the league forever. I think he's going to be the guy that's going to get us out of some jams. And I think he's going to be really good for us.
Very nice. A good pickup. And again, here we're looking at a 1 year, 4.5 mil. You better be setting us up in a good way. Yeah. Exactly. No, great insight by you on that one. What do you know about the right-handed pitcher, Anthony Kay?
Came from KBO league again. He was on the Mets. Kind of struggled with the Mets, and then he went to the KBO. He pitched pretty well. Now we signed him. I don't really know too much about him. I know he's probably going to be day 3 starting pitcher, but I mean we just need arms, and his stats in the KBO dramatically improved. Kind of like Eric Fetty was with the Nationals years before, went to the KBO, struggled with the Nationals. Kay struggled with the Mets, and I think he's going to be good for us too.
The outfielder Austin Hayes, who we talked at the beginning of the situation here today, what can we expect from this Austin Hayes type of situation?
He's just a veteran outfielder. He's going to play probably center or a corner outfielder for us, and he's another one of those guys that's been in the league forever. He knows how to win. He was with the Orioles. They had him before the Orioles. They won 52 games and they signed him. He wins 83. So he's one of those guys that knows how to win games. Been in the league forever. Going to help also the young guys that we have coming up be a professional baseball player.
I'm going to stop it here just for a sec. This is great insight by you here today as we look through who we got in this off season is what Nic Fardella is breaking down for us here for the Southsiders of 2026. Nick, you think it's true before we go to our last 3 players? They really went after some pitchers here, which they didn't have in the past. Do you think, just breaking what you've said, these are some solid picks?
Yeah.
Some boys with some nice arms.
Yeah, I know the plan was just to bolster up our pitching rotation because last year it was young. It was solid the first half of the year, but as the season went on, it was kind of went down to reality a little bit. And obviously, MLB season's long, and I think this offseason we just wanted to get as many pitchers as we can, just to bolster up our team, bolster up the guys, and teach again the young guys. Because as we'll learn later on, the prospects that we have, majority of the prospects we have are going to play at some point this season. And we got 2 really good young players.
Very nice. So Jordan Hicks, of course, acquired from Boston, and David Sandlin acquired from Boston. Do you think these guys could stick the whole summer?
Yeah, Jordan Hicks definitely will. He's another one of those guys that's flamethrower, or throws around 100 miles per hour, but throws a sinker too, so that ball's going to move. I mean, he's been in the league also forever. He can also start games. He's kind of that bullpen opener type of guy, but can also be a bullpen. And David Sandlin, he's probably going to be in the minors for most of the year, but also I think he throws closer to 95 to 100. So again, just flamethrowers out of the bullpen, which as you see throughout the league, you need those guys.
You need those guys, especially in the game of today when these batters, like a Judge and everything else, make it look so easy. All right, let's talk about I would have to say the big factor, because we've always were kind of waiting for, of course, hated to see him go. I just think we never saw the real Luis Robert,
Yeah.
meaning because of his injuries and everything else that happened to him. But what is your feeling about the Luis Angel Acuna, who's having a great spring in that trade for Luis Robert? What are you expecting big things from him?
I'm expecting for him to get closer to 20 homers and around 60 to 70 RBIs.
Okay.
He's going to play a lot for us because we need outfield depth. I kind of had a feeling Robert was going to leave this offseason.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's really good, but the injuries played a big factor in his he didn't really play that well towards the last couple of years because of his injuries, and sad to see him go. He was on the team that we made the playoffs for the first time forever. He was that centerpiece, but I'm hoping Acuna can do some big things for us.
To ask you, does going back to Robert, did the money factor come into play here? We don't know what an Acuna is making, of course, but maybe not as yet. But were the White Sox maybe saying, okay, maybe because of the injuries, maybe because of the team, that they're gonna build this team around a couple different players, and Acuna could be one of them?
Yeah, Robert, our team definitely is like a youth movement team, and Robert didn't really fit the timelines, getting up there in age, and the money definitely played a factor because we got to save money to sign some of our prospects
Exactly.
we have right now.
So then it was, hopefully, I'll say it this way today. Let's hope Acuna has the greatest season, and the Mets don't have a good season with Robert.
Yeah, hopefully Acuna could be like his brother Ronald Acuna.
Oh, yes, without a doubt, that'd be something. What do we know who was acquired in the same deal as Truman Pauly right now is coming to Chicago?
All I know is he's a prospect too, also another pitcher, but he actually fits in a top 15 prospect for us.
Beautiful.
So even though he's probably not going to pitch this year, but we have something to look forward in the future.
So again, a good maybe move here by the White Sox to have this guy as that backup in the future. Nic, let me ask you this. As we move on here, let's talk about the projected lineup and what it's looking like. I'm really excited in the sense of, I think it's a team that won in the 60 marker of games last year.
Yeah.
Right? We were in the 60s.
61 games, 21 improvement from
21 improvement.
From the worst season of all time.
We don't want to talk about that anymore. But no, exactly. I thought, now tell me if I'm wrong, Nic, that was a great improvement.
I did too.
For what they had 20 more games, know.
And we saw some guys come up as close to Montgomery, Kyle Tucker, come up, played really well for us too. They came up around the middle of the year, played really well for us.
Sure.
Great to see those young guys improve. Hopefully keep on improving.
And Montgomery, of course, another one. If we can get a Montgomery and a Murakami to hit the long ball, let's say if they get 25 to 30 each, that's big numbers.
Yeah, those guys are definitely the two guys that we're building around for sure in the future. Those guys are the power hitting guys.
All right, let's talk about this starting lineup. And we'll start with the catcher out, so we'll work it out. Catcher, we'll go right to left. We got Kyle Teal and Edgar Cuero.
Yeah.
Who do you think will be the opening day starter?
Venable said they're going to play, because they're both so young, they're going to platoon. One of them's going to play catcher, and the other one's going to DH throughout the year. I think that's definitely a smart thing to do. Kyle Teal's a lefty, Cuero's switch hitter, so you can platoon them whenever you want. But they're both two of the top, definitely 10 younger catchers in the baseball right now.
Oh, wow.
And I know Cuero's been doing pretty solid in spring training right now. Kyle Teal's playing for Team Italy, so another one of those WBC guys.
What do you know? Because this one I don't know, is one more of the defensive prowess or one more of the offensive prowess? So
Cuero's definitely the better of the defensively of the two. Kyle Teal's still pretty solid defensively. Cuero's got the better arm, and you need that for a catcher. But I mean, offensively, Kyle Teal's not gonna hit a lot of homers.
Right.
He's going to get on base. Cuero's got more of a power, but I think both these guys are going to play majority of the season, and you want them to do as a young catcher duo.
And a big responsibility for both of them when we talked about all those pitchers we talked about.
Yeah.
We still got to get to the pitchers, but a big responsibility for both of these guys. Well, now let's go back to our buddy here, Murakami and Lenyon Sosa.
Yeah.
Which looks like might be sharing the duties.
Yeah.
Lenyon more of a first baseman. He's not going to have the versatility of going third.
He's more of an infielder too, but he just
Okay.
plays first base when Murakami needs a day off. I'm expecting Murakami's going to get majority of the load just because he's probably one of our better hitters on the lineup. You need his bat in the lineup, and he's playing a lot of first base, spring training. So,
and we are really, I know someone had said last week in kind of one of these athletic publications that Murakami might have the Adam Dunn syndrome of striking out.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm hoping if he can strike up and have the 30
yeah,
homers,
he's definitely one of those guys
Yeah.
that's going to hit a lot of homers, but also will probably strike out a lot. But as long as he gets the long ball,
Sure,
consistently
sure.
right, I don't really care.
What do we know about Madroth?
Guy also gets on base. Doesn't really strike out a lot. He's one of those guys that's gonna he's not gonna within the first four pitches in at bat, he's gonna swing the ball.
Right.
So he's not gonna walk a lot, not gonna strike out a lot, but he's gonna get on base in a high clutch too.
Okay, and a good second baseman.
Yeah, solid second base. Reminds me a lot of Nick Manageable. We're not gonna hit the long ball a ton, but gonna get on base, and you need that in the lineup.
All right, here's the guy.
Yeah.
He's your guy. He's my guy, but I loved what I saw at the end of the year last year. Colson Montgomery, the shortstop. This is hopefully now the difference between a guy that we had 3 years ago. The gentleman is slipping, Mr. Anderson, who we thought was going to be our shortstop for 20 years. But now I really do see that Colson Montgomery could be the leader and really work around this. What is your thoughts about Montgomery now being the everyday guy?
Reminds me a lot of Corey Seager, gonna hit a lot of homers, gonna hit a lot of RBIs. He really took the league by storm, and he just hit couple of games, hit homers. First couple of games, his 162 game splits would have had over 100 RBIs and around 40 homers.
Sure.
So if he continues that, gonna be a great player, definitely great athlete. He could play also third if you need him. Need someone to play shortstop too. So he's got that versatility too. But he's gonna be a great player.
Vargas at third, Miguel Vargas. What's your thought on Miguel? And we might be seeing our first baseman go to third too.
Yeah.
But what's your thoughts on Miguel Vargas?
He's a solid player. Came from the Dodgers. We got him in the Joe Kelly deal. I think he's a solid player. He's also going to get on base. If he can hit closer to 20 homers or around 50 RBIs, that's a good season for him. But he's also been in the league forever. He's really young too. He's just another guy that's going to help the young core develop and win.
Great. Vargas, late 20s kind of guy?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. And that's what we need. All right, here's the guy. He's my favorite right now on the White Sox. And of course, he might be splitting the duties, but Andrew Benintendi, who every time I turn around, he's always either getting a homer or a hit. I just think he's so consistent. I love him. I think he's going to be, again, our starting left fielder again this year. He's been with us now 3 or 4 years. You talk about a guy that's really got to have a patience because of what's going on with the organization. And then I noticed here you want to talk a little bit also about Benintendi and Jared Kelenic.
Yeah.
What do you know about, what's your thoughts on both of those guys?
Benintendi's probably going to play majority of the time, but Kelenic's just there when you need him to get him a day off. But I like Benintendi. I think with the lineup constructed right now, before he was definitely the main focus of the lineup. Right now, he's not, which I think plays in his favor because he's going to get on base too.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, we don't need him. We don't need to have play like get a lot of homers. Just need to get on base for young guys to come in. He's a really veteran guy too, so I like him. Jared Kelenic's a guy that was a high prospect coming out of Mariners, went to the Mets with the Edwin Diaz trade, hasn't really played a lot there, went to the Braves last year, didn't play a lot. He's just a guy that needs his opportunity. Hopefully he finds his place with the White Sox, and he can also hit the ball at ballpark too.
This outfield, when I'm starting to look at it down the road, we talk about Benintendi, Kelenic, and of course we're going to talk about Acuna now and a Brooks Baldwin, and we got Hayes still in the mix here, and Cuero can play the outfield too, correct?
He can, but probably not the best.
The best, yeah. So Acuna, does he bring a great defensive prowess? Besides his inning, he can move, he can cover the gaps for us.
Yeah, I think he's definitely going to play majority at center field, him and Brooks Baldwin, but I think Acuna's going to play a little more. They're both really athletic. They both can play Acuna can pretty much play the infield too if you want to. So like that versatile too, which is really plus Brooks Ballman can also play throughout the team. So they're both versatile athletes, can both run too. I think they're both gonna hit the ball too.
Just listening to you, which is your thing on this is really spot on here today. You have brought up this word 4 times in my discussion here with you today, is the versatility.
Yeah.
And I really see this White Sox team having a lot of versatility, of course, being young. Do you see, before we move on to our starting pitchers, of course, we don't want to let off here on, we talked about him earlier, Austin Hayes.
Yeah.
Be the everyday right fielder too, could he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you see this White Sox team? Can we push it that they could win maybe 75 to 80 games with this lineup?
Yes. Right now, DraftKings are like over under on wins is like around 65 and a half. And I think they can win. They can definitely push 70, 75 wins with this lineup.
Right.
It's so versatile, what you need right now in the MLB, because like injuries happen all the time. So this lineup, I think, is going to scare some people.
Oh, for sure. I mean, it's not something now that you're going to go up against. They've put some, I call them early veterans, not the old veteran, but early veterans that have been in the league 4 or 5 years now with this young group. It's a great core that I see. All right, let's talk about our starting pitchers. Who's our opening day starter? I know it's only March 5th today, but who's our opening day starter, you think, when we look from March 5th to the end of this month?
Most likely is going to be Shane Smith.
Okay.
I mean, the All-Star game last year for us, represented us. I mean, he pitched really well last year. He was a Rule 5 pick from the Brewers.
Love them.
Didn't have a lot of expectations last year. Pitched really well to start the year. Kind of fell off a little at the end of the year, which hopefully he continues what he did the first half of the year with us. I mean, he's pretty solid, actually.
I mean, yeah, I'm really looking to see another good season on him and a few more wins. That'd be Sean Burke.
Pitched for us last year too. It was his rookie season, so another younger pitcher that we have pitched really well for us. Pitched better for us on the second half of the year. He's another one of those guys that's going to get a lot of strikeouts. We're going to hit close to 90 miles per hour in fastball.
Who's our pitching coach this year? Do you know offhand? I don't know offhand. I know we got rid of.
I don't know off my hand.
Yeah, I don't know myself. I know they got rid of. It was Mr. Katz.
Yeah, they got rid of him.
Katz, but I don't know offhand. Again, not that. Of course, like anything else, especially when a younger set, it does help.
It's Zach Bove. He came from the Royals, so Will Venable came from the Royals too. So that got that connection there, yeah.
Which is nice, yeah. What do we know about Anthony Kay and Davis Martin now?
Anthony Kay required him to, as we mentioned before, another one of those guys that improved last year. Hopefully, going to continue this improvement towards this year. Davis Martin is the veteran of the group, even though he's middle 20s age, but he's been with us for a couple of years. He's a solid pitcher. He can also another one of those guys that can pitch due to opening day starter, like the bullpen guy. He can pitch in the bullpens too.
I gotta ask you, it comes up here again in our notes here today about the White Sox. Now we go back to this Eric Fedde. Could Eric Fedde really be the wild card in all these pitchers?
Yeah.
Could he be the guy where, we're gonna go with, he could probably max one of these guys out to be the 4th starter, correct?
He definitely could. He's a veteran guy. He's got that cutter too, and cutter slider, and those pitches right now are taking over the MLB because the moves so much.
Sure.
Late movement. These other guys don't really have that in the arsenal, so we got that guy to mix up with things. He can be really good for us.
Yeah, and again, if not, one of these guys, whoever it is, if it's not Fedde or anybody else, could be that that 5th starter, which is the man, pretty much the thing. All right, now I'm looking at our relief pitchers, and maybe there's 1 or 2 here that I don't know of, but of course we talked about Seranthony Dominguez is going to be our closer, without a doubt. He's our 9th inning guy, or maybe our 8th inning guy with 2 outs, and he can bring him in. Newcomb, you're thinking, we talked about him earlier here today in our interview with this on the White Sox. Sean Newcomb could be the 7th and 8th inning guy.
Yeah.
And then, it's just amazing how all this setup comes into play. Where are we on Grant Taylor and Will Vassie?
These 2 guys are so young. They both throw really hard too.
Wow.
Grant Taylor's got a weird arm angle where he throws the ball, kind of like Tim Lincecum like that, but he throws the ball so hard. Will Venable said that he was a starting pitcher at LSU, pitched with Paul Skeens, but he's in the bullpen now. He said like maybe later on in the year or next year, he wants maybe to push him to be a starting pitcher. So he's one of those guys like it's going to throw really hard. Probably going to be the seventh inning guy. Will Basil, another one of those guys that throws hard, plays with a lot of emotion too, pitches with emotion, which I kind of like too as a pitcher.
Sure. Oh,
He
yeah,
has
without a
emotions
doubt,
for us.
without a
I
doubt.
think he's going to be the guy in the fifth, sixth inning. We're going to jam. He's going to be the guy that we're going to call up because I mean, him and Taylor are pretty much very the same pitcher, throws hard, going to get a lot of jams. When you have two of those guys in the back end of the bullpen, it pays well for your pitching staff.
Exactly. And then, of course, we Jordan Hicks and Jordan Leisure and Brandon Eishart, I think it's pronounced, and Tyler Gilbert kind of round off this. But again, do you see these people that we mentioned from Dominguez to Newcomb to Taylor to Fossey, Hicks, Leisure, Eishart, and Gilbert making that team?
Yeah, I do.
They're gonna. We could be looking at this. Could be our bullpen for sure. No,
definitely a solid bullpen. Not a lot of notable names, but a solid group and get the job done. Eishart and Gilbert are two lefties that you need lefties out of the bullpen. Going to probably pitch. Something hits the fan, you're gonna pitch, gonna eat up innings too. So
without a doubt, without a doubt. I know we have a thing about prospects that's on here today, and we have some also the draft picks that were on here.
Yeah.
What is your thing about so far how they've done the spring? Like I says, I've been watching some games on Sunday afternoons when I'm home. I really do see a lot of promises. That thing now where you want to go back and watch, and because of the young veteran and some of the players they put around, but Getz really went in there. Tell me if I'm wrong. Chris Getz, the GM, really went in there and cleaned a house that still needed to be cleaned. Right?
Yeah. You saw last offseason, we don't really know they had three guys in the top 100, and we traded away Garrett Crochet, which is how we got Brady Montgomery, who's right now the 36th overall prospect. Came on, having a really good spring training. I would say he hit 2 homers the other day. He's been really good. Going to play corner outfield. I think he's right now he's going to start at Double-A, but most likely I think he should get called up because our outfielders so it's wide open in the air. He could definitely bring some power to the group. Really good player. And we got Noah Schultz, 49th prospect, going to start in Triple-A, having a really good spring training. Left-handed power arm. And we have 2, Hagen Smith, 72 overall prospect, going to start in Double-A. Him and Schultz, 2 lefty power starting pitchers.
Wow.
You need that right now in today's MLB. Crazy that we have 2 of them. They're gonna strike a lot of people out. I think they're gonna be the next duo that we're gonna have in the future coming down the road. And we have Caleb Bonner, 61st prospect, drafted him in the first round.
Second baseman, shortstop.
Yeah, drafted him last year. He's a guy that kind of gonna get on base, gonna hit a lot of homers.
Nice.
But I think the most intriguing prospect is Billy Carlson, 73rd overall prospect, also going to start in a rookie ball drafting last year. But a lot of like the analysts that cover like minor league baseball, that they all said he has the best arm and he has the best defender in prospects. So good to see if we got him.
And Nick, again, thank you for breaking that down, because if we go back to I'll call it the Anderson era with Moncada and all them, I didn't think now all of a sudden we're looking deep in that infield, when that was all happening, when things were self-destructing on the south side, I thought, wow, what are we going to do for future? Or do we have to send for a veteran shortstop for anything else?
Definitely the strength of our team is our infield depth within the team and within the prospects we have.
I'm going to ask some questions before this has been a great opener, and we're going to probably, maybe we can do another one here coming up after that opening day. Man, I'd like to maybe get with you maybe the day after opening day or something like that. But I have to tell you, I really do feel that this is a really cohesive group, and I just like that everybody is within a 4 or 5 year span of each other. It's not like you got the 40-year-old with the 21-year-old.
Yeah.
This works out good. Since we've broken down pretty much a lot of this today, what's your thoughts? I mean, do you think this starting lineup now can how will they do it? You think divisional play?
Divisional play, I think Tigers are most likely going to win that division. They've done it. They've won it last year. They're really good. The Royals, they have Bobby Witt, so they're going to be good too. But I think they can easily compete for third place that division. The Twins didn't really do anything a lot in the offseason. They kind of sold everyone at the deadline too, so they're going to be a bad team. Royals got Guardians didn't do a lot either. I mean, they just have Jose Ramirez. That's pretty much it. But I think we have out of the three, us Guardians and Twins, we have the best young core that we have. Royals really only have Bobby Witt. They got a couple good pitchers, so they're going to maybe be better just because they've been there before.
Right.
We got a good young core, and you mentioned they're all within the 4 year age gap.
Yeah, right.
You see like in clips of like on TikTok and stuff like that in spring training, they're all with each other. They're like they're competing with each other. They're trying to learn baseball together. I saw Kyle Teal went up to like Jordan Leisure and said, "Hey," like when they first got to Arizona, like, "Hey, what do you like here?" So they're constantly wanting to win. They're constantly with each other. A close knit group, which you need right now. If you want to win games, you got to be close.
You got to be close. And again, you brought up something that's really neat about the pitching. I think you really zeroed in on the pitching here today, which was fantastic because you knew all these pitchers. We need those pitchers who can throw. We need those young arms. Like anything else in life, things change, and like you said, now in the MLB, we need this style of situation. Looking at these players, do you think guaranteed rate field is what it's called? I never want to make a mistake.
Yeah, right.
Is designed for this kind of team? You think is it designed? I mean, I know. I think it will be designed for a Murakami or a Acuna to hit the long ball out of that park. Do you think it's designed for this? I feel this team could be a very fast team.
Yeah, I agree. Young, fast. Acuna's probably going to steal closer to 50 stolen bases.
Right.
So people are saying he's fast. Case Modera can steal bases too. Just a young, fast team. And you got guys that can also hit the long ball. But you have also guys like Chase Modera and Austin Hayes, who's not going to hit a lot of homers, but they're going to get on base, which you need that. You need that flexibility.
The flexibility, sure.
Because I think the problem with the Tim Anderson era, we just try to hit the ball at the ballpark a lot.
Yeah. We're always waiting for the 3-run homer.
Yeah, exactly. Just like you have guys that can hit the long ball, but also guys that are gonna hit a double single, so we can get another single to drive in some runs.
Last question before we go, and this has been great. We're visiting today with Nic Fardella and myself, John Conenna. We're talking. We called this the Southside Shatter. Nick and I have broken down the Chicago White Sox. This will go out on YouTube and Spotify in the coming days, so you can hear what we've talked about. And Nick has really broken down every player that we know that is in spring training, and some of the greatest prospects I think I've seen in about 5-10 years. So I know you weren't prepared for this, and I wasn't prepared for this. How is this going to work this year? Because I don't know how it's going to work. Okay, I throw a fastball to Nic Fardella. It's a 3-2 count, and now it's questionable. The other manager pulls it. How are they going to do that? Is it going to take another 5 minutes to review it, or do they have a faster system to say that was a strike on Nic Fardella, or that was that ball?
Talking about the new like ABS challenge.
ABS challenge, yes, sir.
So everything, they've done that a lot in spring training where like kind of practice that, and it seems very fast. So the way they do it, the pitcher, catcher, batter will like tap their head or helmet or whatever, say, I want to challenge that. And then they go to like, if the ball clips the zone, they call it a strike, and it's pretty fast. It's within at least 2 minutes.
So this will not be something where they're going to be looking at a camera and everything else.
No, it's very like technology driven that you have 2 a game. So it's not like you're going to use it every inning. It's actually Because if you get it, you retain it. If you don't, you lose it. So it's pretty strategical. You're not going to want to use it in the first inning. You're going to want to save it towards later on.
Like maybe in that sixth, seventh, or
Yeah.
eighth inning. And I have to tell you, I watched the Cubs yesterday as I was getting some information to be prepared for you and the White Sox breakdown that you did today. And Murphy, the manager of the Milwaukee Brewers, said, "Can you imagine? It's the eighth inning, the bases are loaded, and you think you've struck and not that batter out, and then it's a ball. That pitcher's got to come out now again with a different mindset." So you think this, with somebody like this kind of a team and the pitchers we have, this could become a big thing.
Yeah, I saw some people say like they don't want to see pitchers challenging because they think everything's a strike.
Of course.
I thought it was really, really funny.
Yeah.
I think the fact that we have two young catchers, I think they should, like, the catchers should be the ones who primarily challenge us because they know the plate the best.
Sure.
So I think hopefully the two young guys, I mean, they've used this in minor leagues too for the past couple of years, so they're used to this. And since our team is so young, they've used this in the minor league, so they definitely are going to be used to this and hopefully going to.
This will really, this is going to be an interesting summer.
Yeah.
With this kind of thing, and it could make the difference in those 1-run or 2-run games that people say, "Oh yeah, they blew that call." Well, now we'll see how this works.
Yeah.
Again, we are going to be back here, I think, maybe, Nick, at the beginning of the season, maybe a week after the season. Well, maybe we can break down that first week of how the Chicago White Sox are doing. Today, this was called the Chicago White Sox 2026 Southside Shatter. I've been honored here today to have Nic Fardella from Michigan State University, journalist, and a guy that really knows his sports and knows a lot about the White Sox. And I'm honored here today that he would ask me to come and help him with this, because this is fantastic. Nick was spot on with a lot of this stuff, and we're going to try to do maybe one a month and break down these White Sox. So we'll be back in April after maybe that first week of the season to break them down in April, and hopefully May, June, July, August, and September, and maybe
Postseason push, hopefully.
hopefully a postseason with Nick. This has been great, Nick, and we will get this out to our audience. And if you have any comments on YouTube for me and Nick, please leave them. You can also leave them on Spotify, your opinions of some of the players and everything else. Nick, thanks for doing this today. And we're going to call this the Southside Shatter. We'll see you again in April. And again, like I said, leave comments in the field. And we thank you.
Thank you.
White Sox, go, go, White Sox. Let's go, 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 White Sox. We're with you all the way. You're always in there fighting and you do your best. We're glad to have you out here in the Middle West. We're gonna root, White Sox, and cheer you on to victory. When we're in the stands, we'll make those rafters ring. All through the season you will hear us sing. Let's go, go, go.